Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Keith, and today we're going to talk about setting up your tone arm, how to align the cartridge, how to balance the tone arm, and how to set the tracking force. For most of the show, we'll be looking at this image and talking about things. So we'll start with aligning the checking the alignment of the cartridge. And cartridge manufacturers, they usually provide a little guide that looks like this, and it's just slips down over the spindle, and you place your, let's start over here in position A. You place your tone arm, and be careful because the stylus has to be out. You have to hit that precisely. Let me move this up. Okay, so you place the stylus exactly on that little dot there, and then you look straight down, and if everything's lined up right, then it should set equally spaced between the lines and perfectly parallel. Do the lines going this way? And the end of the cartridge should line up right with this line in the middle of that, or rather the needle should be that. So that's the end of the overhang of the cartridge anyway. So and then you check it again in position B. Notice that you have to move the platter a little bit, and again you get it right in. If it's flipping up, you may need to tape that down to something, and you do the same thing. And if that's all good, then you're done. If it isn't good, then you need to rotate the cartridge on the head shell one way or the other, or if you don't have a head shell, rotate it on the end of the tone arm, and just ever so slightly you rotate it one way, and then recheck it, and if it gets worse, then you need to rotate it the other way. The point is to try and get it as close at both points A and point B to being perfect. You probably won't get it perfect. You want to get it as close to perfect as possible. And that is the alignment of the cartridge. The next thing you need to do is balance the tone arm. And to balance the tone arm, you're adjusting it so with no tracking force applied, the tone arm is absolutely level. Let me, in my case, if I took this weight off, I'm not sure I can right now. Well, if I took that weight off, then the tracking force would be level. But what you do is you uncouple the tone arm, and you back this weight out until the tone arm is level, and then most turntables, you know, in the $400 to $500 range and less, attached to the front of this little weight, there'll be a dial that's got numbers on it. So once you get it so the tone arm is perfectly floating level, then you adjust that dial so that lines up with a line that says 0. So you adjust it so the 0 on the dial lines up with a line on the weight. And then, actually a line on the tone arm, on the end of the tone arm. So, and then you move the two of them together, you move it in until the number that's on that dial matches the tracking force that you're looking for, that the manufacturer says you should be tracking at. And once you've done that, you need to go back through and check the alignment again, because that could have changed the alignment a little bit. And if you change the alignment, then you need to go back and check the balance again and the tracking force. It's all a kind of iterative process. Yeah, so you just kind of keep repeating that until you don't have to adjust anything anymore. The tracking force, if you don't have a dial, a little dial with numbers on it, or you don't trust it, which, you know, there's a reason to not trust it, you could always check the tracking force with a scale that's made to just do that. Turn this on. We're going to check the scale out. Put a little calibrated weight on it. It shows it's 4.995, so it's 5 milligrams low, reading low. And then we'll place the cartridge on it. And the cartridge is setting at 1.175, which is right in the middle. It's almost optimum. The manufacturer says that the way I use it, the tracking force should be 1.75 grams. So it's almost right on the middle, right on the money. If you have a tone arm like this, there are other things that you need to check that that will fall in with this sequence of events. One's an anti-skate, and the other one is the vertical height of the tone arm. The vertical height of the tone arm is easy to check. What we're looking at is with the tone arm sitting on a record in the manner that you use it. We're looking for the gap between the tone arm and the record to be consistent throughout the whole length. So this gap here should be the same as this gap here, or essentially the distance from the base to the bottom of the tone arm is the same. So what we're doing is we're making sure that the tone arm as it sits on the level, on the record, is absolutely level. And if it isn't, then we adjust the height of the entire tone arm assembly, either up or down accordingly. And that's it, even for a complex tone arm. The key thing to remember is that as you go through this, it's an iterative process. So as you make one change, it may affect the change or the measurement you made before that. So you have to just keep going through the process over and over and over until you don't need to change anything, or the changes get so small, so minute, that you just can't do it. And then once you get to that point, then you've got your turntable set up as good as it possibly can be. Well, I think that's it. I hope that was helpful, and maybe it will help you get your turntable set up so it sounds better. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If this kind of content you like, then subscribe. And remember that the best way to keep your vintage audio equipment working is to use it regularly. Take care for now. Bye. Again.